So I found myself a crazy new project. This is a 1954 Packard Henny Jr. ambulance. Really rare. They only made about 120 of these kinds of vehicles in 1954. So we're going to take a look at it, see what we got. So one of the things that makes these vehicles so rare and unusual is that it's got a shorter wheelbase than your typical hearse or ambulance from that time period, making it a more nimble, more travel-worthy vehicle. Unfortunately, this idea proved to be pretty poor for the manufacturer. They priced the cars far too cheap and lost a lot of money and folded at the end of the 54 year, closing out the Henny coach building company, which is sad, but hey, it's pretty crazy that we have one of these and we can see what it was like. Well, let's go ahead and get this thing off the trailer so we can take a better look at all the interior, or what's left of the interior, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we got this thing off the trailer now and we can get a better look at everything. So, first off, take a look under the hood here. No motor, which that's okay. Looks like the transmission's still in there. A few odds and ends. But I don't really intend on using the original engine anyway, so I'm fine with the motor being missing. Everything grill-wise is intact and in good shape, at least for its age. There's some dents and some rust, but not something that we're too concerned with. Now, as we look at the other side here, we can start to see the reason why this vehicle was so inexpensive. So back here, unfortunately, we had a tree fall on it at some point in its life. You can see it kind of crushed this back corner window pretty good. Fortunately, the back window and the back door did not break, but did some pretty extensive damage to the roof. And inside you can see that it's pretty full of junk. And the roof is pretty crushed. Right there in the top, you can see the 3 holes. That would have been where the original ambulance gumball or warning light would have gone. It's been gone for who knows how long now. You can see the window on this back corner is still okay. And this side of the body isn't quite as bad around the roof area. Inside, somebody has unfortunately stripped the dashboard out of it, but at least they left the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. It's got a neat detail to it there. A Packard sort of design. It's a ship's steering wheel, like a main shape there. You can get a good close on it. Pretty cool. And in spite of all the damage, the seat's actually in fairly decent shape. Floors have quite a bit of rust. Headliner is all down. There's some more of that junk in the back. And on this side, pretty bad rust right through the ground. Here's a really neat detail. The original body emblem right there. Bunch of information. The seat folds forward. You can see the remnant there. One of the two clamps that would have held the gurney for patients to ride in the back. Not entirely sure what these guys here are. They're probably some kind of removable emblem, like you may have had like a cross shape that went in here that could have bolted onto the side or been removed, depending on whether you were using it as ambulance or just to transport supplies. Hard to say. These are some of the coolest detail on the whole vehicle here. The original Henny emblems. In pretty good shape for their age. And there's the other one. You can see more of the damage from this side on the roof. And then there's the emergency lights up there on top. Really a neat design, this raised molding across the top. And for scale, this is a very large light. Our front windshield and some of the stainless is in pretty good shape. And the body's relatively straight. Missing a few pieces of trim. But not bad for its age. Been sitting a lot of years, this one. Well, now that we've done a little bit of a walk around on this crazy old Packard, I think I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup, get rid of some of the trash in the back of it. And as far as what I'm going to be doing with this car, I really don't know yet. I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to get one of these things. They're so hard to find, and they never made that many of them to begin with. But maybe something four-wheel drive, maybe something rat rod. Who knows? Hard to say. Yeah, I just liked it. And I couldn't stand to see it go to scrap or get parted out or anything like that. So I wanted to save this one. As I've mentioned with my other project that you may have seen the videos for, Little Ghost, I like to name my vehicles. It's just something I do. And this one, I think I'm going to call Deckard. Deckard The Packard. Has a nice ring to it. All right, well, we've spent some time cleaning this thing out a little bit. A lot less junk and garbage inside there. Still got to pull down the headliner, but that'll be at a later time. Kind of ran out of big garbage bags. You can kind of see over here along this side, you've got the two clamps that would have been for the gurney in the back. There and there. And then there's some more clamp spots on the floor here and here. And then up front as well. And then that's like a little panel that's removable. You can kind of see there's two holes in there. That might have been for like an oxygen bottle or a couple of oxygen bottles, something like that. Hard to say. Some of the best things we found inside the car are a couple of tail light lenses and inner lenses, which is good because we've got some busted ones on this side. And then over here, there's a pile of stuff that came out of it. You can see we've got some air cleaners, probably not to this vehicle. A mirror, not for this vehicle. Over there we've got what's left of a radio, and then just some other bits and bobs. Over there's the tire, or spare wheel and tire. And then that's the bag full of junk that came out of it. That trunk has no bottom to it, just full of a lot of chains and random stuff like that. And then we've got ourselves like an old oil filter cartridge. A couple of horns. And yeah, a few little treasures, mostly junk, but glad we found some taillight pieces. So yeah, later on down the road we'll get some more garbage bags and clean the rest of this thing out. Well, we're going to wrap things up on our new friend Deckard the Packard here. Down the road a little bit, I'll probably get a hold of like a Porter Power, which is like a little hydraulic jack tool you can use. See if we can't press some of that roof dent out, keep it from getting any worse than it already is, rainwater wise and rust wise. But yeah, this was a really fun adventure to go pick up this one, and I look forward to figuring out what I'm going to do with it at some point. Yeah, until then, we'll let you know if we do any more updates, and we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming with the other projects I'm working on. So have a good one.